Like many twins who went through the classrooms on the Angel's Hill, the Osei-Boadi twins aspired for greater heights. Over the years, their drive, bond, and support for each other has been unwavering and admirable. After completing Holy Child School in the year 2000, the twins were both admitted to the University of Ghana, where they pursued an undergraduate degree in biochemistry. Afterwards, Kate obtained a master's and a PhD in human nutrition from Kansas State University and a Master of Science in nursing from the University of Alabama in Birmingham. Kate is a wife and a mother to her own set of twins. She is also a nutrition instructor at the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa and a registered nurse at the University of Alabama, Birmingham Hospital. The younger twin, Katherene, obtained a Master of Science degree in nutrition from University of Ghana and subsequently a PhD in nutrition science with emphasis on ingestive behavior from Purdue University, Indiana. Katherene is currently an assistant professor of nutrition at the University of Missouri. She is also a wife and a mother to 2 young boys. Introducing Dr. Kate Fuah and Dr. Katherene Anguah. Hi, Kate. Hi, Katherene. How are you?
Hi, Barbara. I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I am so happy that you two have agreed to do this together. I'm excited. Congratulations to you two on such an achievement. And I am excited to hear about your parallel stories. Can you take us back a little bit from your journey since leaving Holy Child School in 2000?
Alrighty, thanks, Barbara. So like we already said, we graduated in 2000 from Holy Child School. And from there, both of us went to University of Ghana, obviously, to get our undergraduate degree in biochemistry. After we graduated from biochemistry, we talked to each other and also, got advice from our parents with regards to the next steps forward. And we both agreed that we wanted to pursue further education in nutrition science. Nutrition department was just across the street. We had both identified some important mentors that we thought would be able to help us be able to pursue this degree. So we both went to the department, and Kate eventually had to leave. So I stayed on to finish my master's in nutrition. And after graduating, I had already applied to come and pursue a PhD, again in nutrition. I got admission. So in 2009, after I had graduated, I then moved on to Purdue University in Indiana, West Lafayette, to come and get my PhD degree. Maybe Kate would also like to step in and tell us a little bit.
Yeah, wow, that's interesting.
Of course, after the biochemistry degree, like Katherene said, we were considering what the next step was, and we found ourselves in nutrition. And how we ended up in nutrition is because we wanted to be in a field where we could apply what we did and see it in human life, like see it in how it impacted health. And with so many chronic diseases, what people don't know is there are so many diseases which can be prevented if only we ate right, if we knew the kind of nutrients that we put in our bodies. So really, we wanted to impact people's health from the nutrition standpoint. That was how come our interest in nutrition was piqued. So we went to the nutrition department, and I think the second semester into the program, I got the opportunity to come to the US to pursue a 1-year exchange program. So that's how that was the first step to me making it here into the United States. And after the program, I got admitted into a master's program within the same university, which is the Kansas State University, where I pursued my master's in the same nutrition, then my PhD, and then got my first job offer as an assistant professor of nutrition in 2014, which led me to California, because that was where the college was. Yeah.
We need people like you, right? I mean, look at Ghana. We're suffering with diabetes, blood pressure, all of those, come from our diet and how, what we put in our bodies. At what point in your lives, either one of you, did you know for sure this this is it. We want to continue in this nutritional path.
So let me take that. Let me take that.
Right.
So it wasn't like we knew, or we decided to tell our parents that we wanted to do nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
When you are in Ghana, mind you, there's not a lot of options as far as even graduate programs. And when we're looking into going into grad school, we had to first find something that was being offered at the time. And we knew, what we knew was that we didn't want to do biochemistry. And there are so many people who think when you say you do nutrition, that means you are maybe sitting somewhere in the kitchen and cooking. Trust you believe, it has nothing to do with that. It's a science that looks at the nutrients we put in our bodies and how that impacts our health. So me, for example, when I eventually started my PhD, the research that I was doing had absolutely nothing to do with even food per se. But so that's why when people say nutrition, wait, so can you cook for me? No, that has nothing to do with nutrition. So my parents were actually proud when we said we wanted to go into that field, because like I always say, if everybody took care of what they put in their bodies, if everybody care, like you eat moderation, if you make sure you include different variety in your diet, if you balance your diet, trust me, we'll be able to cut down so many of the problems that we are facing. So we saw it as an opportunity to influence people's health, which was something that was always of interest to us. So that's how come we ended up in nutrition.
So the underlying decision factor was we want to impact people's health.
Yes.
What was it about diseases or anything to do with the science of food that encouraged you to go in this direction?
So let me take this one. So for me, and I'll speak for myself, for me, I think the decision to do nutrition, or what encouraged me, was I was able to identify a mentor, somebody that was doing exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to do research, nutrition-related research. I wanted to write grants that would enable me to do research that I felt would impact the nutritional health of individuals. And I was able to identify someone at the nutrition department back home in Ghana. She was in Ghana, but she was writing external grants, bringing home grants from the US. She had research centers. She was training and mentoring students, bringing them over to the US for exchange programs. So I saw her, she was doing it. And when you see an example, you can easily model. So for me, that was it. That was the aha moment for me. I saw someone doing exactly what I wanted to do, and they were excelling at it. And that was the person who mentored me. She was my advisor for my master's degree in nutrition. So I would say
wonderful. Now, at that point, is that the same person that influenced your decision to be in nutrition, Kate?
No, she was not my mentor. And remember when I started the nutrition, I didn't finish. I removed myself from the equation like the second semester into it. I came to the United States. So at that point, I was done with Ghana and I had moved here. And of course, on campus, I had so many mentors, like my department chair. You should see the kind of research that they do and the conferences they go to, the impact they are making in society. And who would not be encouraged? Who would not want to model those same things? So definitely, I had mentors here as well to encourage me to pursue that same degree.
So you both saw people do similar things and you wanted to aspire to do the same thing.
Yeah, or do something different, but using the same to do better.
Yes, got it. Were there moments where maybe challenges made it difficult for any one of you to have a smooth sailing? Or perhaps even think of not finishing? And what was that support that kept you going? Were you both relying on each other, or were there external support that you both had to rely on?
Oh my. We were relying on each other like nobody's business. I remember when Katherene first moved here, she started her program at Purdue, and there was this one course that, not that she was struggling, but she just did not like that course. And not a single day passed by that she wouldn't call me and tell me, Kate, I don't know what to do. Like, she would be crying and I would have to calm. I'm like, Katherene, calm down. It's going to be all right. This too shall pass. Like, And we've been like that. Like, it's not even just that cause. Throughout life, every decision that we've made, we've had each other to rely on. To whenever I felt like I want to give up, this is too much that I can do. Maybe I've bitten more than I can chew. My sister is always the voice of reason to let me know that, hey, you can get this done. And even when I moved to Birmingham and I'd let go of a very lucrative job to join my husband, when I was thinking of going back into the workforce, I kid you not, if it hadn't been for Katherene, I don't think I would have made certain decisions. So definitely, she has been very impactful in every decision that I've made. And I always say that everybody should have a twin somewhere. If you are not lucky enough, like the two of us, to have come into the world with your twin, find a friend that you can establish that kind of relationship with, so they can tell you sometimes what you may not want to hear, but you know it's all meant to help you get better. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How about you, Katherene?
Yeah, so similar experience, but in my case, I've always had Kate being the one who would initiate it. So she was the first to come here to the US, and from then I knew I really didn't have any choice. I also had to work hard, study hard, and get here. When I eventually got here, anything I was going through, she was already in the system. She understood. I would call, I would cry, she would calm me down, and I mean, basically give me advice. Eventually, what I was able to find its own level, I got accustomed, and it got to a point where we were actually leveraging each other's, strengths to keep going. She would encourage me, I would encourage her. So that's really been the relationship.
Wow, that's so interesting. Now, I'm hoping at some point I would see some differences, because right now it just appears that we're both on the same track. Now, I want Katherene to tell me what are some things that you think, differentiate you from your sister, and
Okay.
what are some, let's say, 2 or 3 things that make you successful? Like, I'm sure right now you are both married women, and so you have your husbands and you're both building your own families. What is your support system like today? Is it still your sister, or is there somebody else in the picture now, since you're starting your own family? And then once you're done, I want Katherene to actually answer the same question. Kate. Okay. Thank you.
Alrighty, thanks, Barbara. So the support system, it never ends. Kate is always going to be a support system, and as I've already said, like, it's a lifelong, relationship. But aside of Kate, I think that things that have made me successful, first and foremost, I'm a woman of faith. So everything I commit to God, and He's been my source of strength and inspiration in times when I felt like I couldn't keep going. Then also, I'm someone, like, when I make up my mind to do something, I really stop at nothing. I just keep going, and it doesn't matter the obstacle I face, I keep going till I'm able to reach my target. Then I'm also someone who is really very detail oriented, very meticulous. I like to cross my T's, dot my I's, and it's insane. That's the kind of person I am. And also I have like very strong work ethics. My husband, I love my job more than my salary. Like, in local parlance, that's just me. And I've also had, a lot of support from my family, right from childhood, my extended family, then also within my nuclear family. My husband, very supportive, always supported me, and even to the point where it would even make him uncomfortable in terms of he would have to stop what he's doing just so that we keep my dream going, or would have to start afresh. I've had mentors in life who have always supported me. So, and I've also had, when I started having kids, my mommy couldn't come. I had my mother-in-law come to save the day. She took an early retirement to come and help me. And any working mom in this country, you know how tough it is striking that work-life balance. So these are some of the things that have really made me successful.
Very beautiful story. Now, Kate, can you chime in?
Yeah, as far as the family component, we've all had that support system. And Katherene, you forgot to mention Auntie Anita.
Oh my
and
gosh,
she's also a proud Hobson. When we all moved here, I remember every vacation that we would get, she would invite us over. We would spend time in her house, and it was so rejuvenating for us just to have that downtime in her home, until we could eat no more, then go back to school. So, Auntie Anita, if you are listening, if you ever watch this, that we really appreciate and love you so much. Yeah. Then the things that make me successful, I would say I am, of course, again, God first, same sentiment as Katherene, but aside that, I'm a very disciplined person, because I believe if you are disciplined, when you set goals, you work to achieve them. If you are disciplined, you show up to work early. If you are disciplined, if you are in a team setting and you are working with other people, you will bring something to the table. So being disciplined is very key to my success. Then the third thing that I would say is that I like to engage a lot of people. Like I make sure that wherever I go, I surround myself with people who will help me grow, whether it's with my family or even with friends or at the workplace. I try to, and it comes down to mentorship, like making sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people. Because trust me, there are some people you take advice from them and you go like, maybe I should evaluate my friendships here. So surrounding yourself with the right people. Then finally, I would say maximizing your capabilities, maximizing opportunities that come your way. Because guess what? I had just a 1-year exchange program. That opportunity came, and I turned that into now me being here with everything that came along. So know when an opportunity comes. So even when there's no opportunity, create one for yourself. If somebody comes to give a talk in your school and you hear something that piques your interest, after the meeting, walk up to them, introduce yourself. You could end up working in that person's lab through just that introduction that you made. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Okay, yeah. So those are things that I've done that have made me.
I have goosebumps, right? You two were science students in Holy Child, right?
Mm-hmm. And we still are.
Yeah, you still are.
We're still in the science field. Not as students, but
students for life, right? You keep learning. How has that Holy Child's journey or education impacted your life, if any?
Let me go first. So for me, I would say that Holy Child really taught me how to be responsible. I wouldn't say I wasn't responsible prior to going to what I
Maybe you weren't, were you?
It's okay if you are not.
I tried. But
you were so young then.
Yeah, I was so young. So, when you're young, you really don't care about all those things. But in child, I was, the house prefect of St. Joseph's. So, before you become a house prefect in your second year, you are a supervisor, and that means you wake up early in the morning. You are the one who is designing the workflow in terms of scrubbing and all that. So at a very young age, I was given that level of responsibility, managing people and honing and building my leadership skill. So I feel that everything that I am in a job where I have a lab group, I have people that I manage. So I feel like at that tender age, that experience from Holy Child really prepared me and is helping me tremendously in what I do. So Holy Child really helped me hone my leadership skills and really made me a responsible little girl. And that's what I see, as being useful to me down the lane. So that's the one thing I can think of. Yeah.
I was in St. Joseph's.
Oh, you were?
I'm
excited to hear that. So I'm assuming you were not in St. Joseph's.
No. Let me tell you this. Holy Child, I don't know what the policy was when you were a student there, but they had this strange policy where twins could not be in the same house. Yeah. So right from the get-go, Katherene was put in St. Joseph's and I was in St. Agnes, but they still could not keep us apart. Because guess what? During our time, it was just one science class, so we were still in the same classroom. So they tried it, but it didn't work. It didn't work. We're still together most of the time. So that being said, I would say Holy Child was like the first time that for most of us, we were used to living with our parents, being under parental control. So going to Holy Child, that was the first taste, if I should so say, of now learning to be by yourself, making decisions where your parents are not there to guide you. So, of course, down the line, you would have to it's not every time that you get somebody to help you make decisions. You have to be able to hone those skills yourself. And the fact that we got to interact with so many different people from different and diverse backgrounds was also very instrumental in helping us be able to relate to different people. Because of course, in our work, we both find ourselves in positions where we deal with humans. We are in teams, we are working, maybe you have to execute this project, you have to do this, you have to teach students, you have to talk to them. Where do you think we got all those skills from? It all started right from Holy Child. And Mrs. Ajimandewe, she speaks such a lady. She showed us how to be ladies. And of course, that is also very important. Late Mrs. Nyako, the fashionista, we're always, every function, everybody will be looking out. Why is this Mrs. Nyako? I want to see what she's wearing. Little did we know she was showing us how you look is important. You need to care about how you look, whether it's going for a job interview. Now, let me tell you, I know I tend to be long-winded, but let me say this quick. I remember when I went for my first interview, I wore this suit, like my skirt suit. And after the interview, the dean of the school was like, I really, really love your skirt suit. Who knows? Maybe I got a job because I look good. So I got that from Mrs. Ajima.
What a nice tribute to them.
Mrs. Nyako. Yeah.
Yes, that's beautiful. It is true. And, she always emphasized the school, not just passing through the school, but the school.
Let it pass through you.
Who would forget that? So it's just such a 360 moment right now for us to, we're sitting here and talking about their impacts in our education and in our lives right now. Well, we're hoping that someone somewhere would listen to this interview and be motivated or be inspired by your stories. I appreciate you taking the time. I know you're both busy moms of little ones. And so I appreciate that you make the time to share your stories. And I love your story. I can't wait to, sidebar you after this interview and just listen to the rest of it. But it does also appear that you both, rely on each other for support. And then you have very strong support units that keep you all together. So we want to say thank you to all those people in the back, making you shine as you are. We wish you well. And we know this is just the beginning of, your story. And but we are happy that you would include us in it. So thank you all again. Have a lovely afternoon, and we will be in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we really enjoyed this.